Can you speak a little bit about what some of those metrics that you should pay attention to are?
We were talking yesterday because a lot of times people talk about dials, contacts, appointments. They try to sound smart and they do a half-assed job on it. We went through really in depth. You know, if you break down your dials, your contacts, your appointments, how much premium you write, you can start calculating what your time means, what every action means, right? Dialing sucks, but then when we put it in perspective yesterday, dialing seemed still sucks, but it's a little more fun to do it because, you know, the agent we were talking about had a very okay week, made about $40 a dial. I picked up the phone. We don't have to pick up a phone anymore. Now we're just doing this, right? I did this. I hit speaker. The button's on, and I made $40 in premium.
So what you're saying as an agent, if I really pay attention to those metrics, I can view things in a different way. Right?
Absolutely. So now people could fiddle with paperwork for 5 hours and not know where the time went. When you know that, you know, I come in, and if, let's say if the goal is I have to make 300 dials in a week, well, you know, because that's going to net you $12,000 in premium. Then you know that, okay, from this part of the day this morning, I need to make at least 50 dials, so that at the end, as I go through my Monday, I need to be at a 150, and then by the end of Tuesday, I need to be at the 300 mark. Then you don't start fiddling with papers, because it keeps you focused, right? Because if you're not working here, then you're probably going to do what you feel like. So this is now getting you trained to actually get in the habit of feeling like calling. Every time you contact someone, this is the person. Every time they contacted the person we were talking about yesterday, whether if it was piss off or, yeah, let's get an appointment, every time someone picked up the phone and someone said hello, it was like $260 every time someone talked to somebody. Can you believe that? I call someone, and just because they pick up, I made $260 in premium.
Kind of makes you want to call a lot of people.
Exactly, that's crazy. You know, rather than just, you know. So when I put on the insurance for one, I put sometimes 300 dials. They go, 300 dials. That's a lot of dials. Would you make 300 dials for $12,000 in premium? If so, okay, that makes sense. You're just like us. If not, I don't know what to tell you. You must have really bad arthritis in your fingers. I don't understand how. You know, it's not worth $40 to just do that, you know what I mean?
Now, another aspect of the personal metrics that you talked about was understanding your deposits, right? I mean, let's face it, this is not real until the check gets deposited in your account. And some agents you were surprised by some of the agents' response to that.
Yeah, so we have we have several different groups. Most of the groups had pretty good quality of business. There are two groups that had a certain way of doing business, and one group learned from the other group, right? And so they all learned, you know, they were putting GI for things that weren't guaranteed issue. They just weren't doing right in the house. They weren't really buttoned up in sales, so the quality of business was awful. You know, people have to realize just because you write the premium, you got to get the stuff paid. You know, it's nice to say a big number, but if you're not getting paid, you're a joke. You know, so no one who's processing your paperwork, they're gonna get paid no matter what. They get paid $8 to $12 an hour. They're gonna get paid no matter what. The only person who's really affected is you, and we are really connected to our agents. So if they aren't getting paid, we're not getting paid. We're paying for the leads. We're taking a loss. So that's part of our AFOX system. We make sure that you're on point. We're all depending on it. You know what I mean? Where other agents they're not. If you do it, you do it. If not, I'm going to recruit other people.
So this is an integral part when you talk about training the agents. This is an integral part, which is incredibly important, but just a different way of thinking about things that they may not already consider.
Yeah, so I mean, an agent goes out in the field their first week. They write $6,000 in premium, they're excited, they did it, right? Well, now next week comes in as an upline, I should be like, hey, how do you feel? And they feel great. How much did you get? How much you get in your bank account? And if they say, $500, there's a problem. But uplines aren't having the conversation in the first place. They'll say, oh, do you have this case? Is this a requirement taken care of? But they're not asking about their life, you know? Then if you ask those questions, you don't have to ask about individual cases. You know what I mean? So they say, Adam, wow, that takes a lot of wisdom. No, it really is common sense. You wrote $6,000 in premium. If I ask how much you got paid at $600, we have thousands of dollars in premium that we have to talk about. If all of a sudden they say, oh man, the money was good, and they tell me they got the money they were supposed to, then I know their new business is fine. But I didn't have to go through the whole process of new business to know that their new business is fine.
Now, when you think about the personal metrics part of it, or the individual metrics piece, and you're trying to encourage and motivate people, that's a great tool because you've got the focus, right? Do you see that process, that whole process of getting your agents to focus on those personal metrics, do you see that process as a tool to help them self-motivate themselves?
It's a map. It's a map. So they know that if they follow this path, this is what's going to happen. So instead of 300 dials, if they do 150 dials, they already know what's going to happen. You know, so it's a map, and it shows you want to go that way, this is what's going to happen. If you want to go this way, so if you want to have 150 dials, and you want to have, you know, maybe 15 appointments, you're going to the route where you're going to write, you know, 1,500 in premium. You might, or maybe you'll get lucky, but we don't deal with luck here. You have a lot of appointments, which is this route, and you are guaranteed the jackpot, right? On a bad week, it's still going to be a good week, you know. So now, if you go off your path and you're like, what's going on? How did I get here? Well, let's look. I have my dials. What's going on? I don't get it. Do I not have my contacts? Am I calling one specific time every day and I'm not catching people when they're home because I'm calling one specific time? Are my leads a little beat? What's going on? Okay, my contacts are good. Well, I'm not getting appointments, so I'm dialing the work ethics there, but I need to role play on the phone and no one's telling me and no one's helping me, right? I'm booking the appointments on the phone, but people aren't there. Am I having quality conversations on the phone? So the numbers will even tell you what your problem is. They'll help you self-manage yourself. Right? It'll be the building blocks of being able to self-manage yourself, you know?
So one of the advantages with respect to, you know, this is largely an individual type job, right? You get paid for your performance and you're saying, hey, here's the formula, follow the formula. In fact, one of the things you had said earlier is this is a great job for a certain level of incomes for not others. You want to talk about that?
So a lot of agents, what they want to do is, I want to recruit agents who already know what they're doing. You know, everyone has their own term, but your typical independent agent that's been around the block for 4, 6, 10, 15 years, I want to work with those guys because they know what they're doing. Or I want to work with those girls, they know what they're doing. And the problem is they get killed in chapter 2 of the book, right? And then as they're trying to outthink the system, and I say it like this, in this company we say it like this. Olivia is a fantastic example. First month Olivia comes in, she wrote 8,000 her first month. Her go-to was, well, in NAA we said this. Once she lost that in NAA we did this, she went from 8,000 to 28,000 because she lost this is what we did here. It's no longer what you did there. That's how you got here. So now we're going to do what we're doing here. You know? So once that happened, things started changing. For us, an agent who's had, the more success an agent has had, believe it or not, a lot of times the harder it is to get them coachable. You know? That's why I love them hungry. But if you're going to come in poor like that, or you come in hungry, you can't say, I need to make money today. I need to make money this week. This takes time. So if you're not going to put the time, I'm not asking you to get a 4-year degree in college to do your craft. I'm asking for maybe 4 weeks. Give me everything you got, and then you'll be making some money.
You've had used some actual income levels. You said this is a great job for income level X, but a terrible job for income level Y.
Yeah, so they were when we were talking about it, the example you gave them was like 50, and I'm like, man, 80,000. It's a shitty job. You got to drive around. You're getting rejections. You got to put yourself out there. You know, people don't like feeling vulnerable. You know, there's a desk job you can get. All you have to do is follow directions. You get benefits. You get taken care of. As long as they're not firing, you'll have a job, right? So that's probably something that's more suited for that person. This is something where not even 100,000. Like this has got to be at least $200,000-$300,000 a year. If you're not doing it, and you're waiting for some dream to happen, it usually doesn't come true.
Wait, $200,000 to $300,000 of annual premium
Yeah.
per agent?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's look at it this way. If you had 30 appointments a week, let's say half of them are home. That's conservative. 15 people are home. This stuff sells itself. Let's be conservative. We'll say 75% of those are closes. So let's talk about 10 sales, okay? Let's say none of them have spouses. None of them have anyone else that want to buy insurance. This is something else. You found the town of bachelors, right? So 10 people you sold policies to, and let's say something really conservative, like $600 to $1,000 a sale. An app is very conservative. So on the low end, you found all these single people, which like never happened. On a bad week, it's $6,000 to $10,000 a week. So now, what are we talking about in income? That's $300,000 to $500,000 in premium. So I know it sounds like big numbers, but what did I say that was crazy? What did I say that didn't make sense? Right? All seems like it makes sense. And that's the beauty of it. And so not only, I feel like you have to have both. You have to have the numbers to show how it makes sense, and you have to have people living the dream. Just theory is nice, but it's not enough. People that are making money but no one knows how to do it isn't the best way to do it neither. You know, a lot of MLMs are like that. And what that usually leads to is most people who join are broke. And again, it goes back to, I don't want to have the opportunity where 1% of the people are successful. You know, if there was a college and you had 100 people in the college and only one person graduates, that's not a good college, right? So why would that be a good opportunity, you know?